Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drury High School Buckyball Gymnasium and a special live edition of High School Basketball Weekly. As tonight, following High School Basketball Weekly, we'll have the live broadcast of the round of 16 matchup between the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes and the Drury Blue Devils. Hi, I'm Tim Morey alongside of Rick Boo and John Franzoni. Welcome. But before we get to that ball game, we got a lot to cover here in terms of the Western Mass tournament action, and we're going to jump right into it before we break down this upcoming matchup between Hoosac Valley and Drury. And guys, a lot of action for Berkshire County teams in the state tournament, and let's jump into it on the girls' side, Rick, talking specifically about the Drury Blue Devils. You did a game here last night between Drury and Lee, but let's talk a little bit about Drury's play here in this Division 5 state tournament.
Well, in the state tournament, Tim, they started off at home, getting that number 8 seed, and they defeated the Collegiate Charter of Lowell 63-36 in that ball game. Jacinta Felix was the only Lady Blue Devil in double figures. She had 19. They got some scoring from Elise Daly, who got 8. The other big, the freshman Addison Shepard and Ashlyn Hayden each had 7. 10 players that played in the game all scored, which was a good thing. And what was really, really nice to see was the return of junior Megan McGrath. That saw her first action since very, very early. If you remember, she started the season. She gave it a go, played pretty well. She was just starting to come around, and then she wasn't there anymore. I talked to Coach Downey. He told me that her injuries were bothering her again. She was going to have to sit. I thought it was going to be for the season, for the third consecutive season. And in that ball game against Lowell Charter, she came back, and she played limited minutes, and she played really, really well. She played as hard as she did earlier in the season. So that was really nice to see. And then, of course, the game you're referring to that we were able to do here on Channel 1302 last night, Coach Downey's kids lost a heartbreaker ending their season as they hosted the number 9 seeded Lee Wildcats, and they fell to Lee 55-53 in overtime right here in that ball game. There's a lot to talk about. Senior Hannah Lacasse, who's been up and down. She had an up and down career. She's been up and down this year. She'd lead the team in scoring or have a problem or an injury of some sort, or just not be with it and have an off night. In the game against Collegiate Charter, I'm not sure if she did score. But anyway, she led the way with 15. Nora Wood, the three-point specialist, came in and gave him a couple big threes, and she scored 8 points. McGrath herself played really, really well. And in that ball game, it was a game, and John Jacoby talked about this, fellas. It was a game of runs, and there were several on each end. Drury they'd score 6 or 7, get a 5-6 point lead. Lee would come back, they'd lead by 7. A jumper at the buzzer by Lacasse gave Drury a 1 point lead at 24-23, but they had a terrible third quarter, and Lee took a 36 lead heading into the fourth quarter. But I was very impressed with Rick Polari's kids. John Jacoby knows them very well. He analyzed the game very, very well. He's got a very young team. They have a very bright future, as does Coach Downey. It was a shame, guys, to see one of the teams lose that ball game. They both deserved it. It's sometimes just the way the ball bounces. And the Wildcats came away, and I said, good for them. They brought a nice contingent of fans last night. They were very supportive of their team and represented their town very, very well. So congratulations to them.
And John, on a bright side, we've watched the Lady Blue Devils this year. That's a young team. That's a young Blue Devil team. So they have a really bright future coming up.
Definitely. I mean, they've had some quality minutes from a variety of young players this year. They're losing 3 seniors, led by Jacinta Felix, and that's going to be the big loss. Who steps up and will play the point for them going forward, because she's been such an integral part of that team for her entire career at Drury. So, the future is definitely bright for the Lady Blue Devils, but definitely some big shoes to fill there with their seniors, especially at the point guard position.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about before we came on the air, the tournament, both the boys and girls now, really have kind of held the form as all the higher seeded teams have won, except for that game last night where Lee came in at number 9 and knocked off the 8-seeded Blue Devils. So far the seedings have played out as they expected.
And truthfully, not even a lot of great matchups like last night. There's been a lot of double-digit wins.
Right.
I saw the Wacona girls play last Friday night, and they had a big win over, I think it was West Bridgewater. And then they went down last night and almost beat the number 2 seed. They were tied 39-39, and then the other team Miller scored the last 14 points of the game. So it's good to see as we get to the round of 16 that the games are really getting competitive and some fun matchups like the one, Rick, that you saw last night.
No, we talk about all the time, fellas, exactly how young some of these teams are. We say it quite often. And there's a lot of 8th graders and 9th graders, and especially 10th graders, are getting a lot of playing time. A lot of them starting on many, many Berkshire County teams. And, you never know what's going to happen in a ball game. But Lily Moranti, the outstanding guard, the 9th grader for the Drury Blue Devils, has been ill and hasn't been able to play in the MIAAs. And she scored 12 points in the victory over Lee in December. Now, I'm not saying if Lily was here and played, they would have won the ball game, but she would have made a difference. She had been scoring lately. So, kind of sad for the kids. I felt bad for the Drury kids. They finished 11-11 on the season, and Lee will move on.
The other team in Northern Berkshire, the number 2 seeded Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, so far they've really been unchallenged to this point in the tournament. They are in the Elite 8, and they had a couple big wins so far in the tournament, Rick.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me, fellas, of exactly what the Hurricanes have played the last 2 seasons. In the MIAA format, the Hurricanes have lived at home either 3 or all 4 of the years that this has been in existence, and they earned it, and that's why they seed. They have the power rankings, and you get to play at home, and that's a wonderful thing. They play very, very well at the Hoosac Valley Gymnasium, and they have pretty easily handled their opponents. Tim, as you said, they first took down Palmer 76-32. In that game, a huge night for senior Ashlyn Shore. She led the way for the Hurricanes with 27. Reagan Shea had 11. Emma Meswar 10. Genevieve Legesse had 8. They took control early. They went out leading 27-7 after 1 and 46-16 at halftime. And then if you follow the Hurricanes, and you know they haven't lost in an awful long time, they won their 14th consecutive game the other night down in Cheshire, beating number 15 Westport 61-32. Again, they opened it up in the second half, outscoring Westport 32-13. In that ball game, once again, LaSure led the way with 22. She got some help with Sophie Wilson, had 12 in that game. Legesse had 10. So they're prepared to move on. They're ready to move on. I believe on Friday the 5th, the 7th, they're going to be battling either number 7 Douglas or number 10 Narragansett Regional, and the winner will move on to the semifinals. And there's right now, I got to tell you, we looked at that bracket. We said the Hurricanes were looking really good in that bracket, and they are.
Yeah, I think they got, to be honest, and John, I think we talked about this in the last broadcast. I think Hoosac got a really good draw in the MIA.
Yeah, they're definitely on the right side of that bracket, I think. But more importantly, I think when you have a good regular season like they've had and you earn a top 4 seed, you get to play at home until the semifinals. And they are tough at home. They play great basketball. They're getting great contribution from 2 young players in Wilson and Legesse.
Yes.
They're hitting their stride at the right time. That was their 14th win in a row. So at one point they were 6-3, and now they've won 14 in a row, be 20-3. And as a coach, that's what you want. You want your team playing their best basketball in the tournament, and that's what Coach Frederick has done once again this year. He has his team really clicking on all cylinders in the tournament and really on a nice roll at this point in the year.
Right, and so they're going to play the winner tonight. Number 7 Douglas and number 10 Narragansett play tonight. Hoosac Valley gets the winner of that game at Hoosac Valley, and I believe that game is going to be played Friday evening. We're yet to have that announced, but I'm pretty sure that's probably when the game is going to be played. It might be played Saturday, but we'll have to wait on that.
And if they're going to play on Friday, that's a big advantage. Hoosac won on Monday,
Right.
and for some reason they're playing another game tonight. That's 2 extra days, a little bit of rest. This time of year, the biggest thing is getting a couple days of maybe just rest and shooting while their team's battling out tonight. They get 1 day to play or practice on Thursday, and then make a long ride to Cheshire. So, you know what? Good. That's Hoosac earned that with their seed, and that gives you the advantage, and that they take advantage of that very well. And I'm sure that whoever goes out to Cheshire is going to have a really difficult time trying to pull off that win on the road.
Talking about another game in Division 5 quickly, Lennox, who's the number 4 seed, they're going to get a rematch with Renaissance.
Right.
That's going to be a great game down at Lennox. They played in the Western Mass Class C tournament. Renaissance, both teams were undefeated. Renaissance beat Lennox by 7 points in that one. They're going to get a chance to avenge that loss at Lennox, so that's going to be a huge game.
Great game, and it points out the interesting feature of the Western Mass tournament, right?
Yeah.
So you play those first 2 games, and they count, and the final game doesn't count because it's your 21st game, right? So Lennox gets the higher seed, and hey, anybody that's gone down and played in Lennox as a coach, a visiting coach, is going to be loud. It's going to be a different atmosphere that I bet you that Renaissance team is used to. And they played a really close game on Saturday in the Western Mass Finals. So, hey, good for Lennox to get to play that game at home.
Right. Yeah, that probably was the closest point differential that Renaissance had this year. I believe it was 7 or 8 over the Millionaires. So they haven't been really tested in their league. They're starting to get tested a little bit, but for them, this is the cream of the crop from this point forward. So we'll see what happens, especially with Lennox, John, as you said, playing at home.
And in case you're just joining us, folks, here on Channel 1302, we're here at the Bucky Bullet Gym here at Drury High School. And this game is sold out here between Hoosac Valley and Drury, like you would expect.
We are expecting a very full house. We ask that you please be cordial to all the fans with us this evening. If something arises, you need assistance, please flag down one of our North Adams officers that are with us this evening or school administrators from both schools. We hope you enjoyed tonight's contest. Upcoming in 17 minutes. Thank you for being with us.
Well, that was Athletic Director Jeff Polari, who tonight has his Drury shirt on.
Yeah.
If this game was in Cheshire, he would have the red shirt on. Of course, for those of you that may not know it, Jeff Polari, formerly an assistant athletic director up at MCLA, has been the AD at Drury and Hoosac Valley combined for the second or third year right now.
That's right.
And done an outstanding job. Very, very nice gentleman to deal with, very cordial. Helps NBCTC out a lot when we're here, as down in Cheshire. So thanks to Jeff for all he does for us.
Yeah, real professional. Like he alluded to, this is a complete sellout here at Drury High School.
And I'll say kind of a wise veteran move wearing a kind of the neutral gray shirt tonight, too. Got the little Drury emblem on it, but it's,
we'll talk about it. He actually talked to both teams earlier in the week, and it'll be very interesting. I'll let you know what he had to say. Now, while we're at it, let's talk about the boys here, Division 5. Hoosac Valley, they come in as the number 13 seed, and they defeated St. John Paul the third in the preliminary contest, 66-45, Rick, and kind of an easy. It was a fairly close game, but they pulled away later in the game.
Yeah, and in that game, Tim and John, Trey Moynihan, who's been pretty much the leading scorer in the majority of the ball games this season for the boys, had 19. Aiden Wicks, who was right there next to him, had 16. Quennell Bradley had 10. So those three, and we'll talk about that later when we discuss their matchup tonight with Drury. But those three have been in double figures, averaging double figures all season long. But they got a little bit more because they got 13 out of Blake Mazzio. That he had 11 in the fourth quarter. I look at him as an incredibly three-point specialist. He had a great game that night against St. John Paul. And, he's knocked out some big shots for them this year. And we'll see how much of a factor he can be here tonight against Drury.
Right. Drury, of course, they're the number 4 seed. They're at home, as you alluded to, John, did the number 4 seed. As long as they win, they're going to play all their games here, and they earned it. And they started off with a pretty convincing win over Boston Prep Charter, 54-41. Again, Jorge Bond leading the way. And Hoosac Valley coming onto the floor here for preliminary warm-ups, and the crowd's getting into it. It's going to be raucous, that's for sure. But it's what you expect. They've been led by Bond. He really is their wheel. As he goes, so does this Drury team go, Rick.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 33 points in that win, and the Drury boys, there's a story behind this. The Boston Charter kids were supposed to get picked up at 1:30 in the afternoon. The bus was an hour late. They had trouble with the bus. They had trouble on the pike, and the game was supposed to start at 5:30. Actually started at about 7:20. So the Drury boys actually went home and came back. They were dressed. They were ready to go, and there were fans here, and we all had to wait pretty much. But it was all worthwhile in the end. But that's a very scrappy team. Boston Prep, a very talented bunch of kids. I was telling John Franzoni, John, before we went on the air, Tim, that just a little bit of coaching, a little bit of discipline, but they certainly had the talent. Drury just couldn't shake them, but it was a good win.
Right.
In that game, Bond drained 4 threes, and he went 15 for 20 for the free throw line. And that game, Tim, reminded me very much of the Western Mass Class E final that you and I did against Granby, where Drury scored an awful lot of points from three and from the foul line, and it was the exact same thing. They have been down a little bit the last couple of games in 2-point field goals.
Right.
So I think they're going to have to do it a little bit better tonight with that stat. But they were ahead at 12-9, 22-15, and 37-23. So again, they didn't shake them until late. And as the Drury Blue Devils get ready to take the court themselves,
getting ready to come out on the floor here.
Well, and we haven't, this is usually we used to love doing the home and home games, but with the format change 4 years ago, it's been either at Cheshire or here, and that's our big game. The girls, the Drury girls, the Hoosac girls, Drury boys, Hoosac boys, just for the atmosphere alone,
Right.
and it's an honor and privilege to bring it live on Channel 1302.
John, let me ask you this question here. You know, this atmosphere, both as a former coach, a player, a former coach, and a longtime educator, you know, I think this kind of an event is wonderful, not only for the teams, the town, the schools. I think it's great for the student bodies of both schools to participate in something like that.
Right. I mean, it's a great opportunity for both schools to show their school spirit. Huge student section for both teams tonight. I want to say one of the comments I want to make. I've done several games here this year with both of you, and I really want to compliment a staff member at Drury, Ashley Moranti, who's done a great job. You know, we talked before the season as superintendents about some problems that were going on with sportsmanship mainly in the stands in the fall season.
Right.
And I know all the schools have done a really good job of trying to have staff members show up and lead their team in positive cheers. I know the games we've been to this year, Ashley's done a great job, and I know I've seen the Hoosac staff over there doing the same thing, and really just trying to model and set a good example for the kids about, it's about the kids on the court, so let's support them in a positive way and just be loud. As an AD, I used to tell the kids all the time, you can be as loud as you want as long as you're cheering for our team.
Right.
So let's keep it positive, and that's what they're doing a great job tonight, once again, both sides.
And Jeff Polari, who just happens to be the athletic director at both schools, I know he spoke to both these teams this week about this event, and he really basically said to him, he said, if you get all the way to the Tsongas Center and play in the championship game of the state tournament, it will not match this atmosphere here tonight. And he really implored the kids to really appreciate it and to play hard, play clean, and represent yourself, your town, your school, your family with high class.
Right, that's the key too for the players. So we talk about the fans, right? For the players, there's a lot of emotion tonight too.
Right.
So who can play and take advantage of that emotion, but who can play within themselves within that emotion too? And that's the key for tonight, because we saw when we broadcast the game last month with these two teams, a couple of the big players struggled with it a little bit, trying to keep it under control, and that's a big factor tonight.
Right.
Who can really play as a team and just keep those emotions in check while you're playing a big game against your rival.
Well, let's talk about this game tonight. Of course, these two teams met earlier in the season, and Drury right here, and Drury came away with a victory. And let's talk about kind of the keys of tonight's game and the differences that we might see here tonight. Because clearly in the first game, Drury got a tremendous effort. I think the key to the game for Drury was Sammy Mormon had the game of the year so far for him, for Drury.
Yeah, Mormon had 27 points. He's averaging in double figures. He's usually just behind Jorge Bon in scoring, but he did have probably the best game of the year, best game maybe of his career. But in that ball game, Cornell Bradley had some foul trouble. He got a technical foul, I believe, in one of the early in the game as he and Connor Hinkle hit the floor really hard, and so Mormon absolutely dominated when he wasn't there. But I'm not going to say had his way, but it was a lot easier for Sam down low. Sam's in the Hampshire South and other games I've seen Drury play this year, he's got to get some pretty good bigs. Sometimes they double him. He's had a hard time in the post, but he didn't have much of an issue that night. So, can he do it again? That is one of my keys in the game also.
Well, also, John, you pointed this out before we came on air. One of the other keys was in that first game, Hoosac Valley's big man, Cornell Bradley, he had foul trouble. He did not play a lot in that game. He may have played maybe half the game.
Right, and the time he was in the game, he was a major factor. We've seen him up here throughout his career play very, I would say very big in these rivalry games against Drury. And to have him off the court for half the game in that first contest was a big factor in Drury being able to pull away. And we talked about scoring options, right? Hoosac really has three solid scoring options in Wicks, Moynihan, and Bradley. And a kid like Rick mentioned earlier, Mazzio stepping up. Drury's had Sam Bullitt scoring a little bit recently, especially in the Western Mass Finals. So you kind of know what you're going to get from those big guns,
right,
or you hope you do, because I know Drury did a great job on Wicks last time as well. But, who's the Mazzio or another player on who's going to step up, or Sam Bullitt or Varellas or somebody on Drury that's up, Connor Hinkle. So those are the key players. Who are those not necessarily their top scoring options that has a big game tonight and supports their top weapons in the offensive end? That's a big key in this game to see who wins the basketball game.
Right. And talking about those weapons, again, I said it in the first game, this is the battle of the young guns. It's young guns too. Freshman Trevor Moynihan for Hoosac Valley and sophomore Jorge Bon, they are the leading scorers for these two squads, and they are young players.
Yeah, and they're both averaging over 20 points a game. They're nip and tuck at around 21 apiece.
Right.
And that's pretty incredible for a 20-something game season, that's for sure.
And that first game, you had Mormon and Bond combined for, I think, 52, 53 points. Hoosac can't let that happen again.
Right.
You can't let those two go off for
Right.
50-plus points and expect to win this game on the road.
Right.
Some of my other ones, Tim, that I had written down is can Drury, keys to the game, can they get some scoring from Sam Bullitt as he contributed in the Class C final against Granby? Can they get some from Varellas or Hinkle? I think Hinkle needs to take that little jumper from the paint if he's got it. We talked about at halftime of a couple games recently, only Jorge Bon and Sam Mormon have scored for Drury. So
right,
they did get some scoring in the second half of the game against Hoosac Valley that propelled them to the win. But is that going to continue tonight? Because that means that Mormon and Bond are going to have huge games. For the Hurricanes, can Bradley play even with Mormon? Can he play, because he does play so big and he's so strong? Can Hoosac get some scoring from Hakes, Whitaker, Mazzio? And the big three, their top leads, they need to stay on the floor and stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the coaching here. Of course, both these teams, two veteran coaches. For Hoosac Valley, Bill Robinson. For Drury, Jack Reset. In fact, Coach Reset now coming out on the floor. They have tremendous respect for each other. They talk often during the season. You're not going to fool either of these guys. They've kind of seen it all over the years, and they know what they want to try to do in this particular ball game.
And that'll be an interesting factor, too, is with two, as you mentioned, Tim, veteran coaches, what little wrinkle do they throw in for their game prep? What kind of defensive strategy do they show something different than they showed in the first game? Because that's what basketball is all about, making the other team adjust, right? Taking away, we always try to, when I coach the girls here, we always try to take away the other team's first option or second option to see who would step up, because a lot of times, and especially now, we talked about it earlier, there's not a lot of scoring depth on these teams. So if you could take one of those top options away, how does the other team adjust to that?
Right. And or, as you indicated, does somebody step up for Hoosac Valley, like a Blake Mazzio, who's come on and started to score for them, or a Sam Bullock, who had a great game in the Class C Western Mass title game that we did, Rick.
Yeah, these kids will take they'll take that open jumper, whether it's a 2 or a 3. But I still think, at least for Drury, they still look for Bond. And I didn't mention Jorge about being on the floor. Well, we saw that, Tim, in the Class C finals against Granby. Did the game end when Bond fouled out? Well, to an extent, it did for Drury. They hung with them. They hung with them for the 4 minutes in overtime. They weren't able to hold on in regulation when they had that lead. And he means so much to them, even as a sophomore. So that's a tribute to him when your sophomore quarterback leader has to be out there. And he just dribbled his way at the end of the last game against Boston Charter, just to try to steal the ball. And he was playing Harlem Globetrotters dribbling skills with them, and they couldn't catch him. So, yeah, it's who can step up? One of the will it be Braden Durant, the 8th grader for Drury? You just never know, because these kids all go in at different situations of the game in accordance to the way the coach needs them.
And then we talk about how this atmosphere, the pressure, it's a unique atmosphere for a high school event. Talk about the officiating here. That's a big part of this, too. This is not a regular season game, that's for sure. And you have to have referees that understand the intensity that goes into a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have some veteran officials tonight, and I would say officials that are known for letting you play a little bit, too. So I think that's right. I think both coaches and both teams will appreciate it. That's the way the game is officiated. That's what you want to see. See the best players out there influencing the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. You want the players to be on the floor as much as possible. And both teams now going to their respective benches. We want to thank you for joining us on this preliminary pregame show here at Bucky Bullitt Gymnasium. I'm going to turn it over to our play-by-play man, Rick Bulla.
Thanks, Tim. And I'm going to turn it right over to our athletic director, Jeff Polari.
This evening, the 13th seed, the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, against the number 4 seed, your Drury Blue Devils. Tonight's winner will advance into the Elite Eight, which will be played on Saturday. Please note, fans, the MIA, North Adams Public Schools, and Drury promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and all spectators. We ask your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated or grounds for removal from the gym this evening. We ask that you please respect all players, coaches, officials, and game administrators. Please note, noisemakers, horns, bells, or whistles are also prohibited and result in the removal from the gym tonight at Drury. On behalf of all of us with Blue Devil Athletics, we thank you for your cooperation, and let's enjoy tonight's contest. And now, let's meet your starters tonight, first for the visiting Hurricanes. At guard, a freshman, number 13, Trey Moynihan. At guard, a junior, number 12, Aiden Wicks. At guard, a senior, number 1, Matt Whittick. At guard, a senior, number 10, Will Hinks. And at forward, a junior, number 5, Quennell Bradley. Hoosac Valley is led by head coach Bill Robinson. And now, let's meet the starters for your Drury Blue Devils. At guard, a sophomore, number 10, Jorge Bond. forward, a freshman, number 23, Sam Bullock. At guard, a senior, number 20, James Varelis. At forward, a junior, number 32, Connor Hinkle. And the center this evening, a senior, number 21, Sam Morgan. Jury is led by head coach Jack Brissett. Your officials tonight are Reggie Leonard, Kurt Chilada, and Fabio Cardoso. At this time, fans, we ask that you please rise. Direct your attention towards the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
You can't ask for anything better than this. Two long-time rivals, to say the least, doing battle again. It may not be the Army or the Boys Club, but it's one of the two venues we've been used to. And that's either at the Hurricane Gym in Cheshire or here at the Bucky Bullet Gym here in North Adams.
The doors are locked behind you. And once again, if you require assistance, please.
It is a sellout here at Drury, so if you're watching from home, as you are, welcome to the Bucky Bullet Gym. Rick Bua, Tim Maury, and John Franzoni here to bring you the action on Northern Berkshire Community Television Channel 1302, and we really hope you enjoy this ball game. For the Hurricanes, it's Bradley, Hakes, Whittick, Moynihan, and Aiden Wicks, and for Drury, it's Varelis, Bond, Hinkle, Sam Bullitt, and Sam Morman. And here we go. 32 minutes of action. Controlled by the Hurricanes. Senior Will Hakes. Number 10 is guarded by Bond. Varelis is on Moynihan. Moynihan down the lane. Pops is blocked from the back. Morman with the rebound. Nice move by Trey in the lane. Hinkle goes up, scores and one. Foul's gonna be on Matt Whittick.
Yeah, that's a nice, strong move by Hinkle there.
That's a great aggressive move by Hinkle. That's what you want to see for Drury.
Junior Connor Hinkle starting to come into his own offensively a little bit. Has been a defensive mainstay for the last couple of seasons. And misses the free throw. Aiden Wicks. Moynihan. Wicks is going to take a three. In and out, no good. Rebound by Whittick. On the floor, knocked out by the Blue Devils.
Now save from those first two Hoosac possessions. They're letting them play.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Letting them go. A lot of action there on that rebounding.
Will Hakes, the senior, gets it out to Bradley on the inbounds pass. Moynihan gets shot off for the corner. Wicks gets shut off. Back to good defense by the Blue Devils. And we got a blocking foul on Connor Hinkle. His first, team's first.
Drury's really doing a great job of showing themselves early in their help defense. Anytime there's a ball screen set, the screener is stepping out hard on a hedge, and they're really taking those driving lanes away from Hoosac right now.
Bradley to Wicks. Bradley wants to drive. Gives it over to Hakes for three. Got it. Will Hakes.
And for both teams here to get some scoring by the people that they're going to need to get some scoring out of. Hinkle for Drury, Hakes for Hoosac Valley.
Mormon goes up. Won't go. Nice box out by Whittick. Comes down to the rebound, gives it to Hakes. Here's Bradley down the lane. Goes up, he's fouled. It's going to be on Sam Bullitt, number 23, his first and the second here in the first quarter for the Blue Devils. It's in the act of shooting, so the junior will be at the line for two for the Hurricanes. First one is good.
And this place is rocking, both student sections on their feet.
Bradley averaging 11.6 points a ball game this season. Very much a team player for Bill Robinson. Second one's a little strong, but Whittick with another rebound. Another chance here offensively for the Hurricanes. Aiden Wicks. Moynihan goes up and can't go. Mormon gets the ball to Varelis as they get over the timeline. Hinkle to Bond. Bond hasn't touched the ball very much so far. Jorge down the line, goes up with the left hand, a little too strong. Pulling the rebound down is Bradley. Good shot for Bond, just a little too high off the glass.
Yeah, Will Hakes doing a great job defending Bond early in this game.
Whittick's shot, a little long. Bond with the rebound. Bond has got to be the second leading rebounder by far for the Blue Devils this season.
Yeah, he absolutely rebounds much bigger than he is. No question about that.
Into the corner. Back to Bond. Jorge into the hoop, goes up. He gets the whistle. He doesn't get the basket, but he does draw the foul. It'll send the Drury sophomore to the line for two. Each team now with two team fouls.
First foul on Hakes. That was also a factor in that first game. Was Hakes got in some foul trouble, and he's, I would say, their best perimeter defender in terms of trying to work, being aggressive on Bond and slow him down.
Yeah, both teams, John, working very hard on their perimeter defense. They're just not going to give you a free shot.
Right, they're contesting everything, every pass, every dribble drive. It's an intense effort on defense both ways.
1 out of 2 for Bond. He had 23 free throws in the first ball game in this MIA tournament. Cornell Bradley to Aiden Wicks, the junior, guarded by Bullitt. 13 on the shot clock. Wicks drives the lane. Hakes baseline. And they're going to get backcourt violation there by the Hurricanes.
Yeah, Hakes got caught in no man's land there.
Yeah, once again, good aggressive help defense by Drury got Hakes in some trouble.
4-3 Hoosac. 4:08 left here, first quarter. Bond with the inbounds pass to Bullitt. Mormon, little floater from baseline, in and out, no good. Again, a good look, but it wouldn't go, and Bradley comes down with it. Moynihan trying to get by Varelis. Looked at the shot, didn't take it. Hinkle on Wicks. Strong drive by Wicks off the glass and in. Nice driving layup by Aiden Wicks. Nice
beautiful
dish.
pass there by Bond.
Sammy Mormon puts it in. A nice, beautiful pass from Bond. Gets around the screen. Wicks goes up, no good. Rebound by Bradley, puts it in.
And that's what makes Bradley dangerous. He's always moving around that basket,
Right,
John.
and Wicks really set that up with the drive because Mormon had to help, and that freed up Bradley.
Connor Hinkle is going to take a three. Drain it! That's not his specialty, but he's been practicing it, and he knocks it down.
5 early points for Connor Hinkle.
We're tied at 8 with 2:40 to go here in the first. Here's Bradley. Nice spin move. Up, no good. Rebound by Bond. Jorge wants to move. Goes up and he's fouled. And he's got the neck. He can draw that whistle.
And that's 2 on Wicks. I'm sorry, 2 on Hakes.
And both these teams early on here, John, you can see hands on their hips, a lot of energy being expended out there.
Yeah, the defensive effort both ways is just it's going to be hard to maintain that without getting some subs in the game to see who can come in and play at a high level as well.
Bond, who usually is deadly from the line, I'm assuming he's shooting close to 80% for the season, is only 1 of 3 thus far, and he'll get another one here.
Hakes has to sit with 2 fouls. That brings in Blake Mazzio for the Hurricanes. We'll see who steps up and guards Bond now.
9-8 Drury, 2:28 left. Trey Moynihan, the outstanding freshman, to his counterpart, Aiden Wicks, the junior. Mazzio took a look at it, didn't have it, he's guarded by Bond. Wicks trying to set something up. Drives on Mormon, turns around, shoots up, no good. Rebound by Bullitt. Looks like a foul possibly on Trey Moynihan here.
Yeah.
In the rebounding action.
A little bit of frustration foul by Moynihan there. He hasn't had the ball much in this first quarter. Drury's doing a great job on him defensively.
Short pop is good by Connor Hinkle. He's got 7 early in the ballgame here in the first quarter. Moynihan on the drive, gets shut off on baseline, reverses himself. We got a foul on the floor. I'm going to guess it's James Varelis. And it is.
It looks like it's on Varelis. That's just his first.
His first, team's third. Hoosac Valley has 4 with 1:42 to go here. Blake Master put the ball in play for the Hurricanes under his own hoop. And we got a hold on the Blue Devils. It's going to be Sam Bullitt, maybe?
No, it's Varelis.
It's Varelis again? Yeah, you're right, John. Yeah.
He had a pretty good bear hug on.
Well, there's 2 fouls within
Moynihan curling the
2
screen.
seconds.
Yeah, so now Varelis has 2, Hakes has 2.
Whittick goes up, no good. Rebound Mormon. Stolen away. We're going to get a foul there on Matt Whittick. It's a hustle foul. The young man hit the floor trying to dive for the basketball and made contact.
But the key thing with that foul, that's the 5th foul, so Drury's going to shoot. That's where that new rule comes into play.
So a minute and a half to go in this ball game. In the first quarter. Drury in the bonus here. And Hoosac only 1 foul away from being in the bonus themselves.
And we also talked foul trouble, right? We got 2 players on Hoosac with 2 fouls, and we know that their depth is not the strength of their team, so you can't afford that if you're the Hurricanes.
Hinkle gets the roll. Eighth grader Braden Durant, number 14 of the ball game. Waiting to check in is junior Lucas Hamilton as Hinkle drains them both. 9 first quarter points for Connor Hinkle, so that answers the question, will Drury get some scoring early other than Mormon and Bond? 1:30 to go here, 13-8 Drury. Moynihan with the basketball for the Hurricanes. Wicks down the lane, goes up, no good, and a rebound by Bullitt. Here's Bond. Jorge up again to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to take a short pop and drain it. Lucas Hamilton off the bench scores for Drury. And it's 15-8. Just a little over a minute left. Moynihan to Wicks. Bradley's going to take a 3. Up, no good. Rebounded by, well, one of the Sams. It's going to go to Mormon. They're going to slow it down a little bit as Bond walks the ball up the floor. Here's Durant for the corner. It's too long. Here's Wicks all the way to the hoop. Goes up, and we got a foul, blocking foul. It's going to be on Hamilton, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a shooting foul, and Aiden Wicks will go to the line and shoot 2.
Aiden Wick's been very aggressive going to the hoop in this first quarter.
Yeah, he's not settling for jump shots, that's for sure.
A little long on his first one. One for 3 from the line for the Hurricanes early on here. 35.4 left here, first quarter action for the Bucky Bullet Gym. He's got the second one. Drury, if they choose to, can run the clock all the way down. Bond's going to use his left hand here very soon. He's taking time off the clock. They're looking for one shot. They don't want to give Hoosac the last shot of the half. Stop. He pops. Won't go. Rebound Bradley. Plenty of time here for the Hurricanes. 3 seconds. Shot for the corner is no good at the buzzer. Very, very quick action here. Fast-paced action. And the Drury Blue Devils take a 15-9 lead after one as Hinkle and Varelis check back into the ballgame.
Well, the story of the first quarter is unanticipated scoring from some unexpected sources for the Blue Devils.
Right. Somebody said to you before the game that Mormon and Bond combined for 4 points in the first quarter. Who do you think's ahead by 6? I don't know if you'd answer Drury at that.
Right, and then if you told me Aiden Wicks and Trevor Moynihan compared for 3, who would have?
Yeah,
same
exactly,
thing.
Same thing, right. And I tell you, Drury's done a great job on Moynihan. He hasn't touched the ball a lot. They've been very aggressive, showing themselves on the early help and also on the pick and rolls, and that seems to have frustrated Moynihan in particular. But Wicks has been very aggressive attacking the basket, making some things happen for the Hurricanes.
And for Drury, Lucas Hamilton, who just entered the game, took a baseline jumper that he hit, and Connor Hinkle nailed a 3 and a couple of jump shots. The first one was the spin move off the glass, but nevertheless, the young man coming in averaging 5 points a game, already with 9.
And that was one of your keys. Who's going to step up and score, Rick? And the early answer is certainly Connor Hinkle and also Lucas Hamilton.
Right. It is a standing room only crowd here at Drury for this one. Round of 16 contest between the 13-seeded Hoosac Valley Hurricanes and the 4-seeded Drury Blue Devils.
Drury with the basketball start the second quarter. The possession arrow on a jump ball will go with the Hurricanes. Here's Sam Bullitt, the freshman. All the way to the hoop, put it up and in is Bond. Nice drive to the hoop using the left hand on the left side.
First field goal of the night for Bond.
There's Verlis on Moynihan. Stops, he pops, and he's going to get the roll. Trevor Moynihan gets in the scoring column. Verlis into the corner. Here's the jumper, won't go. Rebound comes away with Aiden Wicks. Mazio from the corner, won't go. Rebound to Verlis. Here comes James. He's going to slow it down, I believe. Going to back it off and give it to Mormon. Coach Reset, you calling the play 50. Here's Verlis. Shot, no good. Good box out there, and another good rebound by Aiden Wicks. Moynihan down the lane, up and good. Nice drive by Trey. And Coach Reset said, I've seen enough. It's 17-13. I need to talk to my kids.
Yeah, interesting timeout there, John. Coach Reset not liking the way of the flow of the game there. Moynihan getting really an uncontested drive to the basket.
I think Coach understands that Moynihan's a momentum player. He's got 2 early baskets in the first minute and a half of the second quarter, and he doesn't want to let him get going in this game. In the first quarter, they did a great job of contesting everything on him, and early in the second quarter, they're not doing that.
So Moynihan has been shut off beyond the three-point arc, but he's a good penetrator. Both he and Aiden Wicks use both hands well. They penetrate well. They also can draw the fouls. They get the whistles. They know how to play the game, and they do it really well.
In pregame, we talked about who's going to adjust, right? So, like you just said, Rick, Drury's taking away that three-point line from the Hoosac sharpshooters. So what are Wicks and Moynihan doing? They're adjusting, and they're going to the basket.
So the winner of this game, if Drury wins, they're going to play here at Drury, the winner of the English High Palmer game, which is also being played tonight. If that game will be here. If Hoosac Valley wins tonight, they'll go on the road, no matter what happens, to play the winner of that game. So that's in the Elite Eight.
Here's a little bit of pressure put on by Coach Robinson here. Connor Hinkle with the basketball. And we got a foul on the floor.
Yeah, that was
going to be on Ben Payton.
Yeah, that's a good call there. Payton bustled him up and bodied him up there.
Payton's a good-sized young man around Connor Hinkle's size, almost exactly.
Although in this game, any kind of foul, after all the physicality, it's a question.
Bond gets shut off. Shot is up and good. They wanted to travel on Varela. He got the ball to Mormon. Sam put it in off the glass.
I'll say this, they weren't wrong either.
I was waiting for a whistle myself,
yeah,
John.
That was a travel.
Yeah.
Here's Payton. Bradley. Oh, dropped it, but Sam Bullitt didn't see it. Could have picked it off. Bradley, Hinkle on Bradley. Moynihan up. Won't go. Rebound by Bond. Jorge wants to move quickly. Varelis for three. Back rim, no good. Rebound up and picked off by Bradley. Mormon almost had it and went in the hands of Bradley.
Rebound by Bradley there. He was way up.
Up and no good by Mazio. Rebound by again by Bond. Jorge, nice stutter. Up and no good. Did everything but get the hoop, fellas.
Yep.
Another rebound for Bradley. He's tough inside. Really battling Mormon on those boards.
Nice stutter step, but it just wouldn't go for Bond. Here's Wicks, guarded by Bond. Hinkle on Moynihan. Moynihan's going to launch a three, won't go. Knocked out by Peyton. It's going to be Drury basketball. Colin Daly, number 42, the senior, is going to come in, give Sam Mormon a rest. That's his first entrance into the ball game tonight. So substitutions have been limited because, as we talked about earlier, the depth is fairly limited. So for experience anyway in a big game like this. Drury by 6. Into the corner. Shot from the corner is no good. Rebounded by Wicks. He's got a bunch of rebounds himself. He and Bradley controlling the boards for the Hurricane. We're going to back it off to Bradley. Peyton. Shot is up. Back iron no good. Nice box out. Hinkle getting into it with Bradley for position, that's for sure. Bond for three. In and out, no good. Rebound by Bradley. Moynihan, quick move, stops and pops, and drains it. If he can't go outside, he's going to go in, and he's been successful. He's got 3 hoops here.
Boy, no easy shots for either team.
Now, Varela's looking for Daly. He's going to stay with Drury. Oh, that was the one blow for Sammy Mormon as Hamilton's getting ready to check back in for Bullet. So Bond will put the ball in play. 2:46 left here in the second quarter. Hinkle goes up hard, won't go. Hinkle into the corner. Shot from the corner. In and out, no good. Rebound is up and in by Mormon. 6 points for Sam here in the first half. 21-15 Drury. Trevor Moynihan again guarded by Varelis. There's that quick step, stolen away. We got a tie up and it's going to stay with the Hurricanes. Mormon tied up Moynihan.
Yeah. Mormon is roaming around there in the middle of that Drury defense, making it very difficult for Hoosac Valley on the penetration.
Well, they have him covering one of Hoosac's younger players, so he's taking advantage of that by really being active on the help defense, trying to contest every shot he can.
Bradley thought about it, backs it out. Mazzio will work it around to Wicks. Shot up, no good. Rebound Bond. Drury looking for the good shot here. Minute 39 to go, second quarter. All the way to the hoop and a foul. Hinkle saw the lane, took it.
We're going to see it could have been an offensive foul. Yeah, we're going to see here what this call is.
Well, there was some contact on the other end of the court, and obviously Hinkle didn't like it, so he went right after the Hoosac player that he thought did it.
Well, as you remember in the first game, there was a technical foul early on in that ball game. The question here is,
The problem I think you have now is that it looks like Hinkle has a cut from the contact that was on the Hoosac offensive end of the court.
Yeah, he took, all I saw was his very powerful drive down the lane, and I thought a foul, and I thought it was a clean foul, and I don't know if there was any retaliation or not. It seemed to be a little bit.
Well, Connor got tied up with number 44 for Hoosac, who I don't have on my roster here, and there was some flailing around the arms, and it looked like Hinkle got hit in the face, so he came down and went hard to the basket, and then the foul was called on the Hoosac player on this end. But in high school, if you have a cut or any kind of blood, you can't go back into the game, which seems to be the problem for Hinkle right now.
So we're going to see.
But we talked emotions in this game, right? So now they got to get back under control for the last minute 34 before the halftime.
Now, help me out, fellas. Is that a shooting foul? Or did they call it on the floor?
He was driving to the basket. Looked like it was a shooting
yeah,
foul.
Yeah, it was to me, John. Well, these kids play hard. They play for their school. They play with a lot of emotion. And it can boil over at times with some of these young men. Three out of 4 from the line for Connor Hinkle tonight.
He's had a whale of a first half.
Kurt Carolina's calling a technical foul on Hoosac Valley. So Hinkle has one more free throw, and then I'm going to assume that Jorge Bond will take the technical. Coach Robinson asking what's going on, and it's not like the referees in the NBA take their headset off and tell everybody at the scores table what's going on, so we're not sure.
I would say, as often happens on both ends of the court in this whole exchange here, the second guy got caught both times.
In and out on the second one.
Well, I don't know. There's a technical foul.
I think it was on Liberno, if I'm not mistaken. Bond drains the technical.
Well, as Liebenau was leaving, he and Hinkle had an exchange. And whatever he said back to Hinkle, the referees heard it.
4 for 6 from the line for Bond. He only has that one driving layup. No outside shots so far, field goals for Bond. And Drury still has a 9-point lead at 24-15 with 1:34 to go. And the basketball.
It's a big minute 34 for the Hurricanes.
Bond stops, pass, little bit out of the reach of Mormon, a turnover for the Blue Devils. Saw streaking Mormon for a lay-in, and it just didn't work out. Aiden Wicks. Payne to Bradley. Nothing for Mazzio. Wicks pops. No good. Rebound is up and pulled out by
Great defensive set there by Drury. Very
Hamilton.
difficult shots. And that's a good call.
That's an offensive charge, I believe.
No, it's a travel.
Oh, it's a travel. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Okay.
The travel was caused by Hoosac Valley stepping in there.
37 seconds left here in the second quarter. Saved there by Bradley. He's going to get it back to Moynihan. Shot is good, a big three by Payton. 24-18.
Wow.
Drury looking to get the last shot. Ball's blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Drury. 4.5 seconds left. Warman from the corner, no good. Moynihan, shot is no good at the buzzer.
Well, that's going to do it.
Wow,
Whoa,
that's I
very,
can't tell you
very.
how big Liberto Sri was right there for the Hurricanes. That gave them some definite momentum and some scoring from an unlikely, for sure, especially from the 3 line. So we are at halftime here. This live coverage of boys high school basketball. It's the MIAA Division 5 round of 16. The winner goes to the Elite 8. And the end of the season for the loser tonight, it's a shame for one of these schools to go home. And of course, the Hurricanes were in the finals last year, coming up just a little bit short. And the Drury Blue Devils season ended last year at Pioneer Valley, and each team hoping to go a little bit further. The Hurricanes, that means they'd win the championship game. For Drury, they would love nothing better than to take this team to an Elite 8.
And John, I'll tell you, watching that first half, there are no easy baskets to be had out there.
Right, both teams are really dialed in on defense. They're physical. They're contesting every drive, every shot. Drury has really done an excellent job of, I think we talked about earlier, it's Mormon stepping out and helping to contest every jump shot that Wicks or Moynihan has taken in the paint at the free throw line. And he's being very active along with Hinkle coming off of their player and trying to make the jump shots even more difficult for the 2 sharpshooters for Hoosac. That basket by Ben Payton, at the end, that's probably the biggest basket of the game for the Hurricanes, because going down 9 points, that whole whatever was going on there with the emotions with about a minute and a half left, that was a huge basket to get the Hurricanes back within 6 going into halftime.
So we're going to take a little break here at halftime as the Drury cheerleaders will watch the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes do their gig first, followed by the Blue Devils. So enjoy that, and after our break, we'll be back with the first half scoring and second half action here. You're watching high school basketball on channel 1302, Northern Berkshire Community Television. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, after our little short break here, we got a little drink of water, and we were entertained by both the Hoosac Valley and the Drury cheerleaders. And guys, I got to say, both teams did excellent out there. But talk about change in basketball. How about change in cheerleading? Cheerleaders used to do hello cheers, and they'd be out on the floor doing cheering all the time. And now it's a combination of cheering, dance, and acrobatics, I guess. But they do a fine job. They're well coached, and good job, both Hurricane cheerleaders and Drury High School cheerleaders. As the Blue Devils are back on the floor, coming out of the locker room with a 24-18 lead here. Rick Boo along with Tim Moore and John Franzoni, Peter Gentile from the Bucky Bullet Gym.
Yeah, defense is the story of the first half. Both teams really locking in and playing tremendous defense. As Tim said, every single possession is being contested on both ends of the court. So, that was a big basket we talked about by Peyton to get it back to 6, because a 9-point lead in this game is like a 15, 16-point lead the way it's being contested. Runs are very difficult in this game.
Without question. Both teams, interesting in this first half, both teams took care of the ball pretty well. Not many turnovers, but the real story is just every shot being contested.
Right. There was very little transition game because you're right. There was no turnovers to turn into transition opportunities, and that, I think, favors the Drury Blue Devils because they like this kind of grinded out defensive battle, whereas we know the Hurricanes have shown ability during the course of this season to score a lot more points in their games, but they need that open court to do that, and Drury's doing a great job defensively, as are the Hurricanes, really. And it's going to be an interesting third quarter to see what adjustments Coach Reset and Coach Robinson make coming out of the halftime break.
I just noticed that I have one of my Williams College boys here tonight. He's actually a distant cousin of mine. It's senior Brendan Ruffley from Dalton, who just completed his senior year for Kevin Apps Williams East and had a very, very nice career. Played for Coach Belcher down in Wacona for a very short period of time and went to prep school and then is at Williams College. Here's Jorge Bond to Hinkle. To Mormon. Left hand, no good. Mormon fight for the rebound. Gets again, goes up again, no good. Goes up again, blocked from Bradley.
Wow.
Bradley from behind. Stolen away. Oh, Quinnell Bradley down on the floor.
Yeah.
Got hit pretty hard. He lost control of the ball, went hard for it, and got tangled up in some legs there. Looks
Sammy
like he's
Mormon
okay.
had 3 chances, guys, and couldn't get it to go. And tried for a fourth, and it was just taken out of his hands from Bradley, who took off with the basketball and ended up losing it. Looks like he's okay. It's Drury basketball. Sammy Mormon. Shot is up off the glass, and the bank is now in. Not his softest touch, but it all counts.
I've seen him make a few of those this year off the bank.
Bradley back to Whittick. Hakes over to Moynihan. 10 on the shot clock. Trey down the lane. Goes up with a pop, and Drake, he says the same thing.
Yep.
He banks it in. 26-20.
Oh.
Hinkle loses it.
Connor Hinkle continuing to be aggressive on offense for the Blue Devils
Yeah,
tonight.
he saw that opening on baseline, took it, just happened to lose the basketball. We are a capacity crowd here at the Bucky Bullet Gym.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest crowds I've seen in a while for a high school basketball game. Great atmosphere.
Whittick to Hakes. Hakes drives. Puts up a little floater, no good.
Yeah, I think over the back here.
It's going to be on Drury.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on Jorge Bond.
Oh, Hoosac Valley's going to inbound the ball here.
It's Bonds first.
Moynihan over to Wicks.
Oh, that's
shot
a nice.
is good by Bradley.
That's a nice set, John, coming out of that.
Really nice call by Hoosac. That's what they need to get Bradley active inside.
Morales drives the lane, puts it up.
Oh, wow.
Blocked away. No field goal called. I mean, no goaltending called. I'm sorry.
It looks close.
Moynihan down the lane.
And he's going to go to the line,
As
I
a
believe.
foul is going to be on Sam Mormon. And right away here in the second half, Hoosac Valley has taken the momentum for sure.
Yeah, Coach Roussette's looking for that goaltending. I'll tell you, from here it looked like it was a goaltending.
It was close. I have to say that, like, I was going to say, as Bradley and Hinkle are like modern day Lambier and Rodman from the Bad Boys Pistons, because they're just constantly in the midst of something going on out there to fire their team up and irritate the other team.
I think it's going to be on Matt Whittick.
Yeah.
He's pleading his case to Kurt Chalana and going to say he pushed either Mormon and or Hinkle. That's 3 on Matt Whittick. He's going to come out, and Ben Payton's going to come back in. There's Sam Bullitt. Shot is no good. Rebound. Hinkle. Hinkle goes up off the glass and scores.
Really, Connor Hinkle's a difference in this game tonight. He's had a great basketball game for Drury.
Moynihan gets shut off. Wicks to Bradley. Moynihan stops, pops baseline. Up, no good. Rebound by Mormon. Payton gave it an effort there for sure. Shot no good. Here comes Wicks. Well, they're going to count it. They're going to say, I thought it was on the floor for sure.
Yeah.
And it's in the act of shooting. And Will Haig scores. He'll go to the line.
The second foul on Bond in this quarter.
Senior Will Hakes trying to make it a three-point play here. Trying to get his team down to a one-possession ball game here. Very early third quarter action. Shot's good.
6 points for Hakes tonight.
28-25 Drury. Bullet from the corner. Got it! Bradley drives, spins, shoots, no good, rebounded by Hinkle. Good defense there played on Bradley. Good shot by Bradley, just well contested.
Once again, great help by Sam Mormon.
Shots blocked.
Oh, they're going to get a 3.
Wow.
That's a late whistle.
Yeah, it's going to be on Aiden Wicks, and it was a very late whistle. And they're going to give 3 shots to Sam Bullitt. That's only the first personal foul on Aiden.
Sam Bullitt really stepping up these last two possessions. Hoosac cuts it to 3, and he knocks down the big 3 of the last possession.
Oh for 2. He's gonna get a third.
Neither team shooting particularly well from the foul line tonight.
You're right, Tim.
And this game staying close like it is, that come into play as we go on in the second half.
You better believe it.
1 out of 3 for Sam Bullitt. 32-25, Drury. 3:50 left here, third quarter for the Bucky Bullitt Gym. Bareilles on Moynihan. Shot is up and good. I think it's a 2.
Yeah, it was a 2 by Moynihan.
That was a 2.
Shot is good. Sam Bullitt again. A 3 from the wing.
7 quick
Moynihan,
points.
a long shot. No good. Rebound by Wicks. Another 3. It's raining threes all over as Coach Robinson calls timeout. Will Hakes knocks down another one.
Boy, they've gotten
He's
a
got
lot.
9 points.
Yeah, they've gotten a big contribution out of Hakes tonight.
It's kind of the theme of this game. We talked about who's going to step up. First half was Connor Hinkle. Now it's Sam Bullitt for the Blue Devils. And in this third quarter, Will Hakes coming off the bench after having 2 fouls early in this game and a couple of big baskets for the Hurricanes.
To this moment, with Drury with a 5-point lead with 3:14 left in the third quarter, Jorge Bond has 1 field goal in the ball game.
I really think that's where Hakes is the key, too. He's been saddled
playing
with 2 fouls, but he's been playing great defense. Went in the game on Bond and also looking for his offense more aggressively tonight with 9 points.
Drury can be a much better team when they get some more balanced scoring, and they're doing it tonight.
Right.
And the Hurricanes are with Libano's big 3 at the end of the first half, and the contributions that Matt Whittick and the 2-seeded Matt Whittick and Will Hakes have given them have added so much value to Coach Robinson's offense tonight.
Right, and for the Blue Devils, we talked about how Bond and Mormon have been so dominant with the scoring, but tonight they have 10 from Hinkle and 7 from Bullitt. Half of their points coming from other players. Actually more than that because Lucas Hamilton has a basket also.
They get the ball into Jorge. He says, everybody get up the floor. I'm just going to walk it up. Just a little over 3 minutes left here in the third quarter at Drury. Good defense by the Hurricanes there, and Hinkle turns the ball over.
Jaden Tatro.
Nice job by Jaden Tatro, yeah. Just into the ball game. Wicks to Moynihan. To Bradley. Opposite side. Another 3. Will Hakes is on fire. It's 35-33. The unlikely, John, are doing it tonight. That foul's going to be on Bradley for sure, and it's going to put Hinkle at the line for 2.
It's only the first foul on Bradley. Yeah, Will Hakes, you're right, Rick. He's stepping up big time for the Hurricanes.
He's got 12 points, John. So he's battling Connor Hinkle for not the least likely scorers, but the kids that we said needed to step up, and they certainly are.
All right, 9 points in this quarter for Hakes.
Connor Hinkle is 4 for 5 from the line tonight. He'll get a second one here. Got them both. 37-33, 2:20 left third quarter. And Hakes is just sitting over in that corner waiting for another one. Here's Moynihan. Down the lane. Shot no good, rebound by Hinkle. Coach Reset was screaming timeout.
Yeah.
Probably saved Hinkle a foul there.
Here's my
Yeah,
best guess.
yeah.
Coach Reset said, "Excuse me, Connor, I'd like you to get the ball to a guard."
Yeah.
1:59 on the clock. Third quarter action, 37-33. It's been a shootout here in the third quarter. It's been raining threes, actually.
Yeah.
Sam Bullitt with 2 and Will Hakes with 2 each here in the third quarter alone. Each school with 3 team fouls. Matt Whittick with 3 personal fouls and a bunch of kids with 2, and that's about it.
Yeah, Will Hakes comes into the season averaging 5 points a game, and he's got 12 points tonight, and that's a big plus for the Hurricanes.
Somewhere along the line, guys, there's no question about it. If Drury's going to hold on, they're going to have to get some points from Jorge, whether it's at the line or from the field. One way or another, he's got to score. And so does Sam Orman a little bit, too. But good for both squads getting incredible contributions from the bench.
It's a good point because
again, the players that we said earlier in the game, keys to the game, who was going to step up.
Hey, really, Hinkle and Bullitt have dominated offensively for Drury in this third quarter. You mentioned Bond and Mormon, but it's been their other players stepping up and making some big shots.
Bounce pass, Bullitt. Stolen away. Got a tie-up, and it's going to be Hoosac Valley basketball.
Once
So
again, Will Hakes.
Drury's going to lose possession here. They tried backdoor, it didn't work, and that Drury lost the basketball. Bradley to the hoop. Stolen. Good defense by the Hurricanes there. 12 on the shot clock. Bond with the basketball. Bullitt from the corner. No good. Rebound. Taken away by the Hurricanes. Here comes Aiden Wicks. Under a minute here in the third. Shot is no good. Hinkle comes up with it. Certainly let the kids play on that possession.
Yeah.
He had Brad into the basket. I think the bump just threw him off on the pass.
Moynihan Varelis. Hinkle up and scores! "19 seconds left here in the third quarter. Aiden Wicks to Moynihan. Trey to the hoop. Goes up, he's fouled.
Yeah, foul on the floor here with 12 seconds to go.
It's going to be on Hinkle. His second. And the fourth by the Blue Devils as Lucas Hamilton comes in. So Connor Hinkle can spare a third foul here. Knocked away by Varelis. Shot at the buzzer. Back iron by Bond. He wanted that one really bad. Boy, that was a great quarter by both teams. Fast and furious, up and down. Great shooting, great defense. And I got to say, I really, really enjoy watching the job that Varelis is doing on Moynihan. Trevor's working so hard, just to get away from him, and the job that Will Hakes is doing on Jorge Bond.
Right, both players doing excellent work on the defensive end of the court, and I think, for the Hurricane side of it, I think Moynihan really needs to recognize his Drury is providing so much help early for Varellis that he's got to recognize that, and he's got a hot player in Hakes. Give him the ball. And on the other side, Bond's being very patient, looking for his offense and distributing the basketball, but like you said earlier, he's got to be a little more aggressive looking for his shot, I think.
Right.
So they played even in the third quarter. Drury with a 24-18 lead at halftime. They had a 6-point lead, 15-9 after one, and 39-33 here after three. In this packed, sold-out crowd here at the Bucky Bullet Gym.
Yeah, we'll be back doing some girls action, we believe, Friday night, as Hoosac Valley girls will have advanced to the Elite Eight, and they will take on the winner of the Douglas-Narragansett game, and we'll be there, I think, to do that one. And, of course, if Drury can win here tonight, they'll be back here Saturday in an Elite Eight contest with a trip to the Final Four on the line.
Drury will have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Bond trying to get around a screen. Has Hinkle. And they lose it. Drury doesn't even get a shot off to start the fourth quarter.
Just very physical, aggressive defense by the Hurricanes, really contesting every drive by Drury.
I have not seen anybody like Will Hakes play that almost in-your-face defense against Bond. I've seen a lot of Drury games this year and haven't seen anybody be able to guard Bond.
He's doing a great job fighting over the top of those ball screens.
Wicks stops and pops. No good. Rebounded by Sam Bullitt.
Yeah, those are tough shots. That's good defense by Drury.
Bond pops. No good.
Again, they're making the shooters shoot on the run. And a block on the outside there.
That's going to be on James Varellis. That's going to be his third, and it's going to be the second foul here in the fourth quarter for the Blue Devils. Hurricanes yet to commit a personal foul. Hakes, Wittick, Wicks, Bradley, and Moynihan. Starters for both teams out on the floor. Hakes a long shot. It's good! Red hot! Red hot Will Hakes.
Wow. 4 3-pointers by Hakes. What a performance here tonight.
Up and in and count it. A streaking Bond put it up. The little floater went in, and he's fouled.
That's been a key tonight. Every time Hoosac gets within 2-3 points, somebody from Drury steps up, makes a big basket.
That's going to be the
Bond.
fourth on Matt Wittick.
And Coach Robinson's going to ride with him, looks like the rest of this ball game.
Bond makes it. (42-36), 6:20 to go in the ball game. Here's Hinkle. Goes up and scores and a lay-in. Moynihan, little scoop. Beautiful, beautiful underneath lay-in by Trevor Moynihan. Wicks on the steal. Ball's on the floor. Bradley, shot from the corner, no good. Bradley up and in. The fans going crazy here.
It's
The
great
Hurricane
hustle.
fans. Think we had a
They're gonna
timeout
call.
call.
Timeout, yeah. Coach just said was calling for a timeout as Hoosac Valley throwing a little bit of a zone press at him.
I think that's the second time he saved Connor Hinkle from a foul with a timeout.
Yeah, he was going to get
Yeah,
an
he was-
offensive foul called on him. 5:16 left in this one. It's been a beauty again.
Yeah, we're down to a 4-point game. What a dandy this has been.
And Drury finally got Will Hakes to miss a shot, but Bradley was there to clean it up with the offensive rebound to bring it to a 4-point game with 5 minutes left. So we have a great 5 minutes of basketball left here to see who advances.
Again, in the second half alone, one field goal for Bond. And does Mormon have one, John? Do you have Mormon for a field goal?
He has one this half. He banked in that foul line jumper.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
3 field goals for Hinkle, yeah.
In the meantime, I think I got 18 points for Connor Hinkle, having a great game for Drury, picking up the slack.
I know that sounds like a lot, and for Connor Hinkle, who is the dirt dog of the team, he's the passer, the defender, the rebounder. I'm sure it's a career high. Because normally, especially last year, Johnny wasn't out there to score.
Right. He's done a great job tonight looking for his offense right from start to finish so far.
Bond for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound, Hinkle.
Oh,
Stolen by
away.
Moynihan. Lays it in. Mormon goes up and scores. Nice feed from Sammy Bullitt. It's 46-42 with 4.5 to go. The driving shot is no good. Rebounded by Mormon. And a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Aiden Wicks. I think that's his second.
Yeah.
Wicks had a hard time finishing after a good first quarter. He's still got 3 points in this game.
Oh, my goodness gracious. The ball. Yeah. Sammy Mormon looking for Sam Bullitt.
Yeah, Drury's had opportunities on the back end of this press, but they're not taking advantage of it.
Yeah, you're right, John. They had a good opportunity there.
And sometimes that's what the press wants you to do, play faster than you want to play, and that's what's happening to Drury right now.
Matt Wittick, the senior, looking for somebody to pass to. Where am I going? He's going to go to Will Hakes. Hakes drives. Saved by Bradley. Wittick's shot is no good. Rebounded by Bond. Bullock's going to back off. Now I got to say, fellas, Reggie made that call, but he made it late.
Well,
it was a makeup call.
Right. Yeah, if there was a foul there.
He threw an arm, he didn't call it.
Yeah.
And when Bond drove the baseline doing nothing, he called it.
Yeah.
So we'll call it a wash.
Yeah, he was a little late.
Important, that's a third foul on Bond, too,
Yeah.
so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Moynihan to the hoop, puts it up, and no good.
And a breakout for Drury.
Layup, no good by Ellis. He missed the bunny. Well, Aiden Wicks did all that himself. Took it coast to coast. Waited to get a shot off. Didn't fall, but he'll go to the line for 2.
He continues to be active on the defensive end and
Yeah.
driving hard to the basket. He's making some good things happen on defense, and that's a sign of a good player. Struggles on offense a little bit, but he's playing hard on D to create some steals and turnovers.
Wicks with only 4 points tonight, well below his average. He's played his heart out, though. And he's another one of Bill Robinson's kids that has to be out on the floor.
Well, the fans have got their money's worth tonight. We're gonna
46-44.
We're gonna go right down to the wire.
Yeah, it's anybody's ball game here. It's a 2-minute, 50-second season. Bond goes up and scores over Bradley. 48-44. Will Hakes with the basketball. Bradley. Moynihan. Shot is up and in. Hinkle defended well, but Bradley scored.
Wow.
Just toe-to-toe here.
Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. Floaters up and no good. Rebound Bradley. Hoosac with a chance to tie or take the lead. Under 2 minutes. Timeout called by Coach Robinson.
Yeah. That's a good timeout there, John. Gives Hoosac Valley a chance to get a set out of a timeout.
It's a big possession for Hoosac because every single time that they've gotten close tonight.
Each, our producer Peter Johnson tells each Hoosac Valley and Drury each have 2 timeouts remaining. I'm sorry, 3 for Hoosac, 2 for the Blue Devils.
Right, so Drury has answered every time that Hoosac's gotten within 2 or 3, and that's the first time Hoosac's gotten a stop. So as Tim said, great timeout for Coach Robinson because he wants to make sure his team has the right set to try to tie or take the lead with a 3.
Bradley with 3 hoops this half, and Trey Moynihan with 4. And those are 2-point field goals. And of course, Will Hakes with 9 second-half points, all on 3s.
And a night with a lot of interesting stats. Hoosac has 5 threes and not one by Moynihan or Wicks.
You got it. That is an extremely interesting statistic. They have just
and Drury has 3 and none by Jorge Bond.
And none by Bond. Well, all I can say is the fans got their money's worth tonight, no matter how this game turns out. This has been a whale of a high school basketball game.
All 5 starters by both teams back on the floor for the last 148. Hoosac Valley basketball, as I said earlier, with a chance to tie or take the lead. Here's Moynihan. Wicks. Moynihan gets shut off. Wicks drives. Matt Wittick shot is up, no good. Rebound Bond. They're trying to double team Bond as much as they can. Big possessions all the way down here. Varelis from the corner, no good. Rebound, Hinkle. And when he's fouled, it's going to be on the floor. Nowhere close yet to the bonus of 5 team fouls.
But once again, Connor Hinkle with a huge play for Drury to get the second shot opportunity for
That's
the Blue
a second
Devils.
on Bradley. Each team with 3 fouls here in the 4th quarter. Bond trying to get around the screen. He stops, he pops, no good. Ball's on the floor.
All right, so we're going to call timeout for Hoosac Valley, I think. And it'll be Hoosac Valley's ball.
Both Bradley and Hinkle really going at it again tonight. Fierce competitors out on the floor. 1:06 left in the ball game.
I think it was Aiden Wicks that got the timeout there because it was about to be a jump ball,
Right.
or maybe a turnover for rolling over
Yeah,
on the floor.
I couldn't tell. I believe you are correct. Well, I said it last night when John Jacoby and I did the Lee Drury girls game. Is there a hero in the house? Is it someone that's already contributed or someone that's been quiet? This is a 1 minute and 6 second season right now with the Drury holding a slim 2-point lead over the Hurricanes at 48-46.
Yeah, it's lived up to its billing, for no doubt about it.
They've had a lot of players step up for both teams, and who's going to do it in the last minute 6?
Usually, not in all cases, but usually the teams are at the free throw line at this point. Or one team is following the other team to get to the line.
Right.
One or the other.
Both have one to give.
1 minute left in the ball game. Trey Moynihan drives. Just to Bradley. Shot is up. No good, but he's fouled.
Bradley go to the line with 51 seconds.
It's going to be on Connor Hinkle. That's his 4th. And Bradley will go to the line to try to tie the ball game.
That's the 4th foul on Drury, which means Hoosac shooting the rest of the way on any Drury foul.
Bradley misses the first, he'll get another. 51.1 on the clock. Hoosac's going to show pressure one way or another, I believe, here. One out of 2 for Bradley. Morales. To Bond. Knocked away by
Yeah,
Will Higgs.
could have been a foul out front there by Higgs.
17 seconds on the shot clock. 48-47, Drury. Here's the streaking Bond, and he's fouled. He's fouled before the shot on the floor.
Yeah. That was a foul on the way in, no question about that.
And that's the last foul Hoosac can get without Drury shooting.
Right.
That was the one they could give away, John. You're right.
But now the shot clock is off, and Drury can hold on to the ball the rest of the way.
This is usually Jorge Bond time for Drury.
That's
to get to
right.
The free throw line.
Matt Winnick is just hanging all over Mormon, and Mormon saying, he can't do that. So the referee's going to talk to both of them. He says, hey, look it. This is what you can do, what you can't do, and I'm going to call a whistle, and you don't want me to call a whistle at this time of the ball game.
Boy, I'll tell you. Oh, boy, almost stole it away. And that's a good foul, actually. For Hoosac, that's a good foul with 16 seconds to go.
Yeah,
Right.
Mormon's going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2.
The Winnick fouls out, but it was a good foul because they need to get the Drury blue that was on the free throw line and stop the clock.
Yeah, John, you're right.
Ben Payne coming back to the ball game, and Blake Mazzio at the scorers table here. Sam Mormon tonight has not been to the free throw line.
Still a one possession game no matter what happens.
Mormon coming in, averaging 14 and a half. Drains it. You're right, Tim. It's a one possession game. It's a one possession game, even if he makes this. Coach Holmgren and Reset talking to the Drury guards, giving them instructions. Coach Robinson with his arms folded, watching the last 16 seconds of action here in a great, great ball game by two great rivals. Sammy Mormon with two huge free throws there.
How big is that?
He's got 12 on the night. There's only time to the free throw line. She drains them both. 50 for Drury, 47 for the Hurricanes. 16.2 on the clock. Drury is in the bonus. They will. Drury will be at the line regardless. And then the next foul, so will the Hurricanes.
And that's what you want, your seniors to step up. Sam Mormon hitting two big free throws. Like we said, that was a smart foul by Hoosac.
It really was.
And put Sam on the line, but to his credit, he stepped up and made the free throw. So now it's Hoosac's turn to see who makes a play for them or who makes a defensive play for the Blue Devils.
Right. I got a question for you guys. Who scheduled these ball games for us to do this year? Because it's a team effort. We have done some incredibly great ball games, both boys and girls.
We talked about, Rick, the game last night with Drury girls and Lee, and now we have back-to-back nights in this gymnasium with two great basketball games.
Yeah, it's playoff basketball, that's for sure.
Drury trying to hold on. The Hurricanes trying to come back here. Hoosac has not led in a long, long time. They trailed 15-9 after one, 24-18 at the half, and 39-33 after three.
And Hoosac's tried to make a couple runs and just kept coming at Drury, but Drury keeps making the big plays to not give up that lead and to maintain it with 16 seconds left.
Well, maybe we'll have an opportunity, some interviews on the floor here at the conclusion of this ball game.
The Drury starters are out there, as the Hoosac Valley starters are all out there with the exception of Matt Wittick, who just recently fouled out of the ball game. Ben Payton getting some instructions from Coach Robinson.
Yeah.
And Connor Hinkle getting some instructions from Coach Reset.
Pretty well officiated game under tough circumstances, no question about
They've
it.
been very consistent. They've let them play, let the contact on the drives go. And
here goes Moynihan. Wicks. I'm sorry, Aiden Wicks. Moynihan. Long bomb is back. No good. Rebound by Mormon.
That's going to do it. That is going to do it. The Drury Blue Devils will advance to the Elite Eight in Division 5 and will play this coming Saturday right here at the Bucky Bullet Gym. What a ball game.
Oh, it was a great game, the guys to call. It was back and forth against the two very, very good teams. Hoosac Valley, in my eyes, is the team nobody wanted to play based on their history, their coach, and three incredibly great scores, averaging double figures, but they got great efforts all the way around.
And as the Blue Devils did all night, they did a great job defensively on Moynihan on that last possession. He didn't get open look the whole game.
Well, Tim Morey's going to try to get down on the floor for interviews. It may take a little while. Drury's going in the locker room, but
yeah. Well, really the story of this ball game the story of this ball game, in my opinion, John, the efforts really by two players offensively. Connor Hinkle, who was the high scorer in this ball game, did a tremendous job. And I'm going to tell you, Will Hakes ended up in this ball game with 15 points. He averages 5 points a game, and he did an absolutely outstanding job. Outstanding job on Jorge Bond.
Really did. Higgs did a great job defensively on Bond, made him work for everything tonight. Really took him out of the game in certain sections of this basketball game. But then Connor Hinkle stepped up and hit some big shots for the Blue Devils with 18 points.
So I'm going to give you the scoring that I have, which is always unofficial. The final score is official, but I don't have everything. So first of all, for the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes, they were led by their senior Will Hakes. He goes out playing an incredibly great ball game offensively and defensively. He had 15, 14 for Trey Moynihan, well under his average, and most of them, John, were in the second half. 10 for Cornell Bradley, who played his heart out, the junior. 5 for Aiden Wicks, who played his heart out, but well under his average. And 3 for Ben Payton for their 47. For Drury, the high score, as you said, was Connor Hinkle, a career high 18 points, 12 for Sam Mormon, only 11 for Jorge Bond. He was the quarterback. He controlled it. So they did. Hakes did an incredible job on him, and the same thing as James Varelis did, trying to slow down Moynihan. 7 points for Sam Bullitt, all in the second half, and Lucas Hamilton with a big basket in the first half for their 50.
Yeah, one thing I'll say about Jorge Bond tonight, I thought he was very patient. You know, he was being defended very physically on his drives by Hakes and off all those ball screens. But he did a good job of finding his open teammates a few times, and especially Connor Hinkle, open up the lane in the basketball game for him. And Connor, to his credit, was aggressive all night offensively. And really, I think the reason why Drury won this basketball game was the effort on both ends of the court by Connor Hinkle.
Absolutely, John. And, you know, one of the things I want to review, we can't review everything. I can't wait to see this game already in its entirety. But let's talk a little bit about the timeout Coach Robinson called. Aiden Wicks brought the ball up. They tried to set a pick or a screen for Moynihan. He didn't have anything. The ball went into the corner. The shot missed. Sammy Mormon with a big rebound as the clock went off. They did everything they could do to win the ball game. And let me tell you something. I have the utmost respect for Coach Robinson. I always have. I always will. And his program at Hoosac Valley. And who would know that they're 9-13? They'll finish 9-13. That's the best 9-13 team I've ever seen in Division V in this state.
Right. We called the game last month when Drury defeated Hoosac by double digits, and it was a completely different story tonight in the basketball game, with the Hurricanes coming out and playing good basketball, staying under control of their emotions, playing even better defense, much better defense than they played in that first game, and getting a big effort from Will Hakes in the second half, especially with 12 of his 15 points to get the Hurricanes back in the ball game and a chance to win late.
Yeah, I thought Ben Payton's 3 in the first half was huge. It cut into that lead and gave him a little momentum going into the half. But, you know, Bradley's averaging 11-6. He scored 10, so he was right around there. But Aiden Wicks averaging almost 18 points a game with 5, a key factor in this game. But, again, regardless of how many he scored, he had to be on the floor. And here's the good news for Coach Robinson. His top three scorers will all be back next season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's the key thing for the Hoosac Hurricanes. They bring back their leading scorers on the season. Obviously, they lose a real strong player on both ends in Will Hakes. But obviously, the future looks bright for both of these teams. And Drury gets to keep playing, so their future is going to continue this season with another home game in the next round.
So just be patient, everybody. Please stick around as John and I continue to talk. And our colleague Tim Morey is down on the floor. He's just waiting for some of the Blue Devils to come out of the locker room. It's part of Coach Jack Brissett's program that at the end of the ball game you shake hands with the players and the referees. You hit the locker room for a last-minute huddle. then they'll be out to talk. So it's going to be Berkshires, it's going to be the Berkshire Eagle, it's going to be Northern Berkshire Community Television, all vying for probably Sam Mormon, Jorge Bond, but definitely Connor Hinkle, who we really need to talk to tonight.
Another sign we've talked about the veteran leadership of Coach Hoosac and Coach Robinson tonight, and as much as that game was emotional, and there was a couple times where players got tangled up a little bit in this game, good teams know that you leave it between the lines, and they both were very good sportsmanship by both teams, shaking hands and extending the game the right way at the end to congratulate each other on a hard-fought game.
And just watching Connor Hinkle and Bradley going, you would think Bradley and Mormon would be battling, but it was the two dirt dogs. They play so hard, and they play so. They're just great athletes, and they leave it all on the floor. Their mindset prepares them for what they do physically out on the floor.
Right, and they're both emotional players. They're the motivators of their teams. I would say they both. There's other players that score more obviously than Bradley and Hinkle do, but those two players are the ones that get the home crowds motivated. They make the big plays on both ends of the court. They're diving on the court. They're playing good defense. They're getting big rebounds. All the little things, like you said, the dirt dogs that it takes to win a basketball game.
As I said last night when the Lady Blue Devils fell in overtime to Lee, you just hated to see a loser because it's not regular season, John. It's postseason, and everybody knows after the Class C and D tournaments, it's win or go home, and they left their hearts out on the floor, both those squads last night. And it's the same thing tonight. I feel the same exact way. At Channel 1302, John, as you know, these are two of the teams that we cover. We cover both the Hurricanes boys and girls and the Drury boys and girls, and it's just a shame to see one of them have to go home. Hoosac Valley, had they have pulled this one out tonight, would have been very dangerous down the road with the experience they have. They played in Lowell at the Songer Center last year in the finals. So they Moynihan is an 8th grader, and Wicks and Bradley as sophomores last year. So we're hopefully getting very, very close to some of the Blue Devils and Coach Reset coming out of the locker room. As I said, the media is waiting for him, and I hope the technical issues weren't totally a nightmare tonight. And here they come. And Connor Hinkle's going to be the first one. So we're going to turn it over to the floor, and Tim Morey.
We're on the floor here with Connor Hinkle for the Drury Blue Devils. And Connor, boy, what a ball game.
What a game. I'm so proud of these boys. I love this team. It's my favorite team yet, and I can't thank them enough for letting us play one more.
Well, I'll tell you this much. This is a game where somebody has to step up. We know the obvious players for both teams, guys that can score. But it was really players in yourself. Will Hoosac Valley had huge ball games.
Yes, he did. Shout out to Will. I know his senior year is over, but I'm proud of our guys. And then, I knew I had to step up, but that's only courtesy of my guys. You know what I mean? They always help me out, and they believe in me. They trust in me, so I appreciate them.
Well, let me just say this. I want to thank you guys and both teams. Really, I'll tell you, the people here and the people watching, they got their absolute money's worth tonight.
Yes, they did. And that's a great way to end keep going. That's a great way for us to keep going. Listen, I'm proud of them.
Listen, you're gonna be back next year, so hopefully we're gonna replay this. Listen, best of luck down the way. You're in the Elite Eight, and you're gonna play here on Saturday. We'll be here to cover it. Best of luck to you guys.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Well, very happy for Coach Reset and the Drury Blue Devils, ladies and gentlemen, and John and Peter and Tim. And, I think the reason is you get involved with these kids, John, when you cover them in the media. And I've been doing Drury basketball for a long time, and it's just been the last few years that Tim and I and yourself and John Jacoby have kind of worked in each other's teams with you and Tim helping me out here and you and I helping Tim out in Ems and Cheshire. But it was a painful loss when they lost that heartbreaker to Granby. They thought they had a Western Mass title, but that's probably quickly forgotten. It's probably forgotten the next day at practice. And what a great job. Tim, we were saying I was saying to Johnny, it's just too bad there had to be a loser because that's the best number 13 9 and 12 team I've ever seen.
Well, a lot of these players for both these teams are going to be back again next year, so we'll relive this experience again next year and during the regular season. But for Drury, they got a lot to look forward to now as they play here on Saturday in the Elite Eight with a trip to the Final Four in Division 5 on the line.
It's going to be either English High from Boston or Palmer. It's either going to be number 5 or number 12, but we will be here to cover it. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, the final score here from the Bucky Bullet Gym in this MIAA Division 5 round of 16 game, it was the Drury Blue Devils 50 and the Hoosac Valley Hurricanes 47. For Peter Gentile, John Franzoni, and Tim Morey, I'm Rick Bohr saying thanks for joining us, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.